So hello, thank you for joining me today for our yoga practice. My name is Claudia, if you don't know me. So take a comfortable seat. If you have blocks, have your blocks with you. Maybe you also have a blanket handy or a towel. That helps sometimes to support knees, and it's also nice for Shavasana. So come into a comfortable seat, sit on a block if you like. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale fully. And again, one more breath in. And out. Good. And just roll your shoulders for a moment. So loosen up your shoulders. You can circle one shoulder at a time or both together. Good. And then find stillness here. Soften your arms, your wrists, your hands. And beginning to sit a little bit taller, rooting down at the base of your spine. Begin to relax your face, your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. So if you haven't done so already, close your eyes. If that is uncomfortable for you, you can relax your eyes and then look to the tippy top of your nose. And simply observe your breath for a moment. Notice if your breath is a little bit flatter and quicker, or if your breath is slower and a little deeper, and knowing that there is no wrong or right. And simply check in. So often when we begin to attend to our breath becomes slower and deeper naturally. And then begin to lengthen your exhale. So your exhale can be longer than your inhale. Let that exhale go really slowly. Either open your mouth and you make a ha sound, or you can exhale through your nose and still keep that sensation in your throat, that ha sensation. And when you exhale, let your belly draw inward towards your spine, slightly upward. And then return to your natural breath. And bring your awareness into your heart and the space around your heart. And breathe into your heart space. And then turn your palms upward. On an inhale, arms draw up over your head. And then exhale your hands to your heart. If you like, join me for one round of Om. Deep breath in. Please open your eyes with a soft gaze, release your hands, and then make your way onto your belly. Entirely. So bring your forehead down to the mat, hands out in front, and you can massage your forehead on your mat. Relax your body for a moment. And simply breathe. And notice how the ground, the earth, is assisting you when you exhale, when you let go of your breath. So focusing on your exhale. The releasing part, the letting go. So it's really making space for something new to take in. And then reach from your toes into your fingertips. So you're engaging your body. On an inhale, lift your legs, your chest, your arms. Maybe just an inch or less. And then on an exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. So keep your legs long. Try not to bend your knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. One more up. And hold it here. And release. Hands come underneath your shoulders, curl your toes under, seat to heels. And we are transitioning into child's pose for a moment. And then come onto your fingertips from here. Lift your wrists and your elbows. Walk your hands out in front. Release your shoulders towards your hips. And then lift your right arm and sweep your right arm under your left. So you're laying down on the outside of your right shoulder, looking under your left arm, twisting. Drawing your seat to your heels. Good, and then change. Bring your right arm out in front again. And then left arm comes under your right. You're laying down on your outer left arm. Seat back to your heels. Head down to the ground. and release. Good. And then as you inhale, come onto all fours, tabletop position, knees underneath your hips, hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart, and your hands or your wrists a tiny little bit in front of your shoulders. On an inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your heart. On an exhale, you round. Press into your hands, lift your upper back, chin to chest. On an inhale, tailbone lifts, heart lifts. Exhale, round. And you can close your eyes and just really move with your breath. And you can linger somewhere. If you feel something that catches your attention, you can stay there and breathe. Good. And release. On an inhale, bring your right leg out behind you. Maybe your left leg comes a little bit more center. On an exhale, draw that knee in, round your back, forehead towards your knee. On an inhale, straighten your right leg. On an exhale, hug it in. Inhale, straighten. On an exhale, hug that knee in, lift it up, and then step your foot forward. So we'll stay for a moment on that left knee. If your knee is sensitive, you want to use a blanket under that knee. Let your hips adjust for a moment. Let your hips sink towards the earth. Come onto your fingertips. You can also use blocks here. And just take a breath. Good. Then release your arms. And arms rise up over your head. That's an inhale. On an exhale, let your arms drop. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale. One more. And then bring your arms back up. Good. Turn your palms outward, hands behind you. Interlace your hands. Draw your hands down and away. Lift your chest. You can look to the ceiling. Maybe there's a little bit of a back bend. Bring your shoulders back in line with your hips, and then start to straighten your right leg. Pick up your toes and fold forward. And release your hands to frame your foot. You can use your blocks again if you like. Find a flat back as you breathe in. On an exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. So you're pulsing with your breath. And the movement can be a little bit bigger if that serves you, or it can be really subtle too. And release. Step your right knee back to meet the left. Cat cow. Inhale. Tailbone lifts, heart lifts. Exhale, round. Come into neutral. Left leg extends behind you. Breath in. On an exhale, bend your left knee. Draw it towards your forehead. Forehead towards your knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round. Inhale, straighten. When you exhale and round, really press into your hands. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, round. Bring it in and step your foot through. Let your hip adjust. So if you need the blanket under your right knee, slide the blanket under your knee and just let your hips open for a moment. Use blocks if you like. And when you're ready, pick up your chest, keep your hips low, and arms rise over your head. On an exhale, release your arms. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. One more. And then keep your arms up. Turn your hands outward, bring your hands behind you, and find the other thumb on top. Draw your hands down and away, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your sternum, sink your hips, and breathe. Bring your shoulders back in line with your hips, straighten your left leg, pick up your toes, and fold. Release your hands to frame your foot. Lift your chest as you breathe in. Draw your left hip back, right hip forward. Exhale, fold. And you can always use blocks under your hands. Pulses can be bigger. They can be a little bit more subtle. So when you found something interesting, stay there and just breathe. And release. Left knee steps back to meet the right. And take one cat-cow again. On an exhale, round. Good. Beautiful. Coming into a neutral position, curl your toes under, and then lift your knees just an inch. Press into your hands. So you're also stretching out your feet, the arches of your feet. Use your core. So tuck your, or hug your belly a little in. So you stay on the tippy tops of your feet. You begin to lift your hips. So my knees are still a little bit bent. You pick up those hips and then push into your hands. Draw your hips back and up. Begin to straighten your legs. You're still on your tippy toes. And then slowly release your heels on an exhale towards the earth. And pedal out your feet if you like. Good. On an inhale, rise onto your toes, chin to chest, and then uncurl your spine into high plank. On an exhale, draw back into down dog. On an inhale, rise onto your toes, chin to chest, uncurl, look forward. On an exhale, draw back. Down dog. And again, rise on toes, uncurl, exhale, draw back. Find a moment of stillness in down dog. Let your head go. Ground your hands, draw your shoulders back and away from your ears. Use your belly to send your hips back and up. And then bend your knees, look forward, and make your way to the front. Hands to shins, find a flat back. On an exhale, fold. Bend your knees if you like. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Good. Then straighten your right leg, bend your left hand underneath your shoulder. On an inhale, right arm rises. On an exhale, release your right hand down to the floor. Switch legs, straightening the left, bending the right leg, and left arm comes up on an inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, switch, right arm up. Exhale, release. Inhale, switch sides, left arm up, and release. Both knees bent. Bring your feet out a little bit wider. Toes point forward. And then bend your knees a little bit more. So you feel it in your hip flexors. Bring your arms out in front. Shift weight into your heels. And get really long in your spine. So drawing your tailbone away from the crown of your head. Good, then bring your hands down. Straighten your legs as you exhale. Walk your feet closer together. Lift your chest as you breathe in. On an exhale, fold. And you can always bend your knees in your forward fold. Soft bend in your knees, ground your feet, rise. On an inhale, arms come up over your head. And then take your hands to your heart. Good. Bring your hands down by your side, palms facing outward. Relax your shoulders away. Rock from back to front on your feet, from side to side. Just feel the floor underneath you. And then find stillness in Tadasana, mountain pose. Close your eyes and be still for a moment. And really be that mountain. So the mountain will never move. There is a storm around you. But you remain calm and observant. On an inhale, open your eyes with a soft gaze and arms rise. Turn your palms outward and behind you as you exhale. Hands interlace. Draw your hands down and away. Lift as you breathe in. On an exhale, bend your knees. And then draw your chest slowly towards your thighs. So when you touch with your chest, when you touch your thighs, your gaze shifts towards your big toes. So lengthen again your back body. So draw tailbone away from the crown of your head and then see if you can pick up your arms a little bit more, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Good. On your next exhale, begin to straighten your legs and fold. And release. Hands to the floor, flatten your back, and then step back into down dog. Rise onto your toes as you breathe in and uncurl into high plank, chin to chest. And then you look forward. On an exhale, draw it back into down dog. On an inhale, rise on toes, uncurl. Exhale, draw back. So next time we come forward, we stay here. And you can choose if you come to the floor with your knees off the floor or your knees on the floor. Chest forward, elbows in, come all the way down. So your hands are next to your chest. Draw your elbows together and your shoulders, roll them away from your head towards your hips. Ground the tops of your feet. On an inhale, lift your chest and your head for low cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Curl toes under, seat to heels. On an exhale, we come into down dog. Right leg rises, breath in. bend your right knee into your chest, come forward, and step your foot through. So you're staying high on your foot with your back foot. Front knee is stacked over your ankle. And then come onto your fingertips, maybe use blocks. So get in touch with your core. So you're drawing your right hip back, left hip forward. Good. And then bring your hands out behind you, palms down. And then press into your front foot as you rise. Arms come up. On an exhale, release your arms. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. One more. Arms up and remain here. Take your arms out to the side. And on your next exhale, turn your torso to the right. We are going into a twist, so making sure that your shoulders stay in line with your hips so that you're not leaning forward. And breathe. Then release. Come back out. Ground your hands on your blocks. And ground your back foot. Toes point forward. On an exhale, straighten your right leg and fold over your right leg. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find a flat back. Exhale, fold. So here in pyramid, you draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Good, and then bend your right knee and slide your left leg forward, cross it behind your right, pinkies touch, and you can use blocks again, finding a flat back here, and then fold, bending your elbows. Trying to keep your hips square to the front, meaning pulling your right hip back, left hip forward. So you also feel like pressure in your legs and your calves. So you're pressing your right calf into the left shin and left shin into your right calf. So you can add on if you like, you can stay here, or you walk your hands over to the right. Coming in a little twist here. Good, and release. Pick up your left leg and step it back. And it's down dog again from here. On an inhale, rise onto your toes and curl, high plank. Knees come to the floor. On an exhale, lower down. Hands next to your chest, squeeze your elbows together. Come into cobra. Straighten your arms. So when there's a little bend in your arms, you can roll your shoulders down and away and pull your chest forward and upward. Maybe your knees lift. Drawing from here into down dog, rolling over your feet. Or you come into child's pose first, and then you rise up into down dog. Left leg rises, breath in. Bend your left knee, hug in, step your foot to the front. Ground your front foot, come onto your fingertips, draw left hip back. Release your hands behind you, palms down, arms are long. Press more into that left foot and rise. Arms come up. On an exhale, release your arms. Inhale up. One more. Bring your arms up. Good. Take your arms out to the side. On your next exhale, turn your chest to the left, twisting. Good, and release, come center, arms rise up, and then take your hands to the floor and seal your back foot. Toes point forward, flat back, breathe in, exhale, fold, and you can take your blocks here if it serves you. Pulsing again with your breath, and how big the pulses are, you can decide what serves you best. If it's tiny little movements or bigger movements. Just continue to breathe. And release. Slide your right foot forward, cross it behind the left. If you can't, pinkies touch. Flatten your back, maybe a block here. On an exhale, fold. Squaring your hips off to the front of the mat. So work with your breath. That brings you deeper into this forward fold. If you like a little bit more, you can come into a twist. So walk your hands over to the left, but be mindful how it feels. And then fold from here. And release. Good. And then pick up your right leg and step it back. Left foot comes back to meet the right in down dog. So if you know your vinyasa flow, you can do your thing. Or bear with me if you're building strength. Rise onto your toes. That's an inhale, come forward. Lower your knees down. Elbows and chest forward. Lower down, not more than halfway. And then straighten your arms if you inhale. Pick up your knees. Lower your knees down, curl your toes under, seat to heels. And it's down dog. Open your feet mat width apart. Maybe shorten your stance a little bit here. Draw your hips back and up. And then walk your hands towards your feet and bend your knees for a squat. So you want to have your heels on the floor. So if your heels rise up like this, when you lower down, just stay up a little bit higher. So you notice when you go down, like with your high knee, like how far you can go. And maybe your squat is here, or it's here. Good. Then bring your hands back to the floor and walk them out in front. Find down dog again. Right leg rises, breath in. Bend your knee, hug that knee into your chest. Step your foot forward. Left hand underneath your shoulder. Inhale, right arm rises. So your right knee is in line with your right hip, and you're high on your toes with that left foot. So engage your left leg and open it up here. Good. Release your hand. Ground your back foot. On an inhale, rise up into Warrior One. So here you want also draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Hips are shining forward. Strong back leg. So you can try when you bring down your hands. So this is a little bit more challenging with your back foot on the floor. You can use a block or you pick up your heel again. So we are going into one more twist. So draw your right elbow up and then bring your right arm up here. And release. Turn to the side. Toes in, heels out. And fold. Line up your fingertips with your big toe. Right and left, hands underneath your shoulders, shoulder width apart. Work with your breath again. So every time you exhale, you draw your navel in. Send your sits bones up. So let your breath become really big. On an inhale, straighten your arms, and then walk your hands over to your right foot and fold over your right leg. Come center, and hands over to the left foot and fold here. And release. Come to the center and then turn back to the front and slide your left foot forward, cross it behind the right and fold. So now I'm turning towards you, but you stay at the front of your mat. So you bring your hands to your heart. Flatten your back, press down into your feet and rise all the way up. Bring your arms out to the side, that's an inhale. Right arm under left. Garudasana arm, eagle arms. So pick up your elbows on an exhale, draw them down. Inhale, pick them up. Exhale, draw down. Then begin to bend your knees. So you can readjust your right leg over your left, and your right foot can stay on the floor. So also your hips don't open to the side, they are square to the front. So you're shifting a little bit more weight into that left heel. Roll your shoulder blades towards your hips. So you can be here, foot can be next to your calf. Maybe the bind is there. Oops. And again. Then open your arms as you inhale. Pick up your right knee. So again, there are options. You can bring your hands under your thigh, or you take your two fingers around your big toe, so the peace fingers of your right hand. So find a Tadasana spine first, and when you're ready, you imagine or what you do, you think about lifting your right heel so that right knee can be bent. Can be straight, but it can be bent. Maybe left arm comes out for balance when it's not under your thigh. Then bend your right knee, open it up to the side, and straighten your leg out to the side. So if you have your hands under your thighs, take your right hand to the inside, and you're here. And maybe playing here with balance. Ooh. Good. Then bend your knee again, bring it out forward. Left hand comes to the outside of your right foot. And again, that right knee can stay bent. Open your chest to the side, to the right. And maybe straighten your leg. Bend your knee, hug it in, and release. Good. Bring your arms up. That's an inhale. On an exhale, release breath. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale. Good. Open your feet and come into squat. Good. Hands come back down. Step it back into down dog. Take your vinyasa flow, or stay with me for a modified version. So rise onto your toes as you breathe in and curl. It's high plank. Lower your knees down, elbows and chest forward. Halfway down, max. Straighten your arms. Maybe pick up your knees. Exhale, down dog. Left leg rises as you inhale. Bend your left knee, hug in, step foot forward. Right hand stays under your shoulder. Your hand can be on a block. On an inhale, left arm rises into a twist. So that front knee is in line with your ankle. Your left knee is in line with your hip. And then see if you can press that right knee far away from the floor, reaching your left hand up. And release. Ground your back foot, rising up for warrior one. Strong back leg, so ground into that right heel, draw left hip back. So we're coming again into a twist. You can do the same twist we just did in low lunge, or see if you can keep your right heel down and you can use a block. Open your chest again and left arm comes up. Look to the floor, left hand to the inside of your left foot, turn to the side, toes in, heels out, and fold. So pulse with your breath. And this time walk your hands out in front. Get really, really long. Draw your hips back and up. Soften your chest, your shoulders. Then walk your hands back under your shoulders. Turn to the front. And then slide your right leg forward, crosses behind the left. Pinkies touch and fold. Yeah, then bring your hands to your heart, lift your chest halfway, really press into your feet and rise into standing. Arms out to the side, left arm under right. Reach for your hands, lift your elbows. So if you can't reach like this, you can keep your hands on your shoulders. On an inhale, lift your elbows. On an exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Begin to bend your knees. You can always readjust that left leg. Toes can stay on the floor for grounding. Shift weight into your right heel. Release your shoulder blades down towards your hips. Good, then open your arms and then lift your left leg. Good, so hands can come under that left thigh, straightening left leg. Or you take the peace fingers of your left hand around your left big toe. So find Tadasana spine first, and then extend left leg up in front. So your right arm can come out to the side. Bend your knee. Oops. I'm off balance. That's okay. And then take it out to the side. And open your leg out to the side. Good. Bring it back center. Right hand comes to the outside of your left foot. And I fell out, and this happens in yoga a lot. And if it happens, you just come back in. So right hand to the outside of your left foot. Oh, gosh. Can't do it. And then you twist to the other side, and when you're done, come back, hug it in, and shake it out. All right. So you're at the front of your mat. Bring your arms up as you breathe in, and then exhale. Open your legs. Come into squat. And bring your hands behind you. Sit down and roll onto your back. Hug your knees in. Good, and release. And then ground your feet. Palms down. So maybe you want to brush your heels with your fingertips. And then as you inhale, you lift your hips. For bridge pose. So root down into your heels. An option would be to interlace your hands underneath you and walk your shoulders under, draw your forearms down. Lift. And release. You can windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Round your feet again, and then take your right ankle over your left thigh, flex your right foot, palms down. On an inhale, lift your hips, draw your right knee away. And release. Switch sides, left leg on top of your right. Flexing your left foot, ground your right, and on an inhale, lift your hips. And release. And hug both your knees back in. Bring your left leg down to the earth. Hug right knee in. Take the peace fingers of your right hand around your right big toe. And then straighten your right leg. Or that knee can be bent. So left hip stays on the floor. You can bring your left hand to your left hip, making sure it stays there. Reach into the left heel, engaging your left leg, and then open your right leg over to the right. So it doesn't matter how far you go, and if you need to bend that right knee, that is like totally fine too. Just try to keep your left hip down on the ground. And then take that leg back center, and the left hand goes on the outside of your right leg, and again you can bend that knee, coming into a twist here, or you straighten the leg. Scoop your left shoulder out. An option would be also to bend your left knee and reach for the foot, for the bind. Good, and release. Coming back. And hug both your knees in. Ground your feet. Just lift your hips into a little mini bridge. And release. Left leg into your chest. Right leg comes straight. Give it a little squeeze. Reach into the right heel. And then peace fingers of your left hand go around your left big toe, and then begin to lift your heel. That knee can be bent. So engage your right leg as well. Lengthen the back of your neck. And just making sure that your right hip stays on the floor, so you can bend your left knee and open your leg over to the side and then re-straighten it, or you come with a straight leg to the side. Good. And then bring your left leg over your chest again and reach for the outer edge of your left foot with your right hand. So crossing over, you can always bend that right knee, coming over to the right into a twist. So that knee can stay bent here. Scoop your right shoulder out. Maybe it becomes straight. So if you had the bind before, bend your right knee, reach for that right foot, and twist here. And slowly release your right leg, bend your left knee, and bring both legs in. Reach for the outer edges of your feet, arms on the insides of your legs for happy baby. Good. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Cactus shape with your arms so your elbows are in line with your shoulders. And just stay here. Close your eyes. Relax your breath. So when you're ready to transition into Shavasana, begin to straighten your legs. Bring your arms down by your side, so they're not like glued to your side, so there's a little distance. Maybe palms face up if that feels good. Sometimes palms down feels better, so just see what feels better to you. Open your legs a little bit, and you can circle your ankles and your wrists. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully. So let your hips become very heavy. Release your shoulders more and more. Your arms, your hands. Let your head be very heavy. Your neck. And also relax your face, your jaw, your eyes. And let just your breath wash over you. One small slice by Dana Falls. I feel flat, as if my 4 dimensions have collapsed into one thin line that winds through dark times. I feel dense, the neutron star of my emotions spinning aimlessly in space. An ocean of sadness floods me at high tide. The detritus of my life washed up on shore for all to see. It's easy to take these feelings seriously, to believe them, to be all of me, instead of one small slice of a rich and evolving life. When I choose to let them be, when I'm grateful rather than grasping, laughing instead of gnashing my teeth, when I allow life to be as it is, it's clear that feelings are just feelings, while truth is always truth. And then please deepen your breath again. Bring your awareness back into your body. Move your hands, your feet. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Stretch your arms out over your head and take a deep breath in. And exhale fully. Draw your knees to your chest, one at a time, and just rock for a moment from side to side. When you're ready, roll onto your right side. And then from here, make your way back into a comfortable seat. Good. And then take your right hand to your chest, your left hand to your belly. When you opened your eyes, close your eyes again and draw your gaze back inward. Into that silent space. And then bring your left hand on top of your right. So chanting Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, the words, the actions of my own life contribute to that freedom and happiness for all. So we start with one Om and then we chant Loka Samasta. Take a deep breath in. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Namaste.